we're heading to an island which is renowned locally as a place where people dump the dogs they don't want anymore. They just abandon them there. Now, the population of dogs is quite wild. They've got unknown amount of diseases, and we're going to catch them up, we're going to neuter them, and we're going to treat whatever we can.
Every year, a team of volunteers descend upon this island to get on top of the resident population of feral dogs. And every year, they have to build a field clinic from scratch.
What I love about this is health and safety. As always, paramount with the old bare feet. Great. Thanks a million. Fantastic. Island refreshments.
I discussed how best to structure the day with the other attending vet, Dr. Bitter. And with the clinic nearing completion, it was time to send out Don Oscar, the dog catcher, to round up the dogs.
We don't know who did it, but we know they are abandoned and they are by themselves. And sometimes they start to bite people. And of course, we are aware that we don't have rabies in Costa Rica. And as long as we keep the population of the dogs low, it will be easier for us to keep Costa Rica free of rabies.
Soon the field clinic was in full swing and was accepting patients by the dozen.
Well, this is a setting and a half. The waves of the Pacific crashing up onto the beach, and about 40 metres on the shore, we've got our clinic. Now, Eduardo over there, he's just anaesthetising one of the dogs we've caught. I'm probably going to operate on her in a second. He's working on that table, I'm working on this table. We've got our drips rigged up here for a bit of support of the animals. Over here is the recovery station. We've just operated on these guys here. They're coming around okay. She was a job, she was pregnant. These are the sort of challenges that this kind of work's got, because you can see the dogs are actually all quite thin. They live by their wits, so they just eat what they can. And you never know what status we've got them in when we anaesthetise them. But it's going well, so far so good. This little guy here has just come round, haven't you? Yes. It's twitchy, so yeah, we're having a good day, we're getting through them.
And the stray dogs just kept on coming, at least until the dog catcher reached his peak.
There's a lot of conditions, like something called ehrlichia. Now, this is a disease carried by ticks, and it stops the blood clotting. It destroys all the platelets. We need platelets in our blood to enable our blood to clot if we cut ourselves. And it means these dogs, just the slightest nick, and they do just bleed and bleed and bleed. And that's why this surgery has to be incredibly thorough, because we've got to make sure that every single vessel is carefully tied off. And one of the techniques the guys here have pioneered really is the use of cable ties to tie off the blood vessels. You can imagine how easy that would be. I mean, literally, you loop it round, you thread it through, and slide that down like this, and that's it. Job done. Now, that's a great idea, but it's never been properly researched. I mean, that bit of plastic there is going to stay there for the rest of time. It's never going to degrade. And I'm just not too sure myself. I need to check that out a bit more. So I'm going to stay with the old tried and tested degradable Vicryl, which is a suture material that does dissolve in time. But it's not knocking their idea, because who knows? Could be a way in the future.
Thanks to everyone mucking in, the outreach project was a real success.